Hey, Nora,
Hey, Dad.
do you know how a toad gets to heaven?
It dies?
It croaks.
I don't get it.
You know, like when when someone dies, you say they croaked, and toads croak. That's the noise they make.
I
It
didn't know
croaks.
you said that when people died.
Oh, well,
I do
then you
now.
then you didn't get the toad joke.
No, I didn't.
What are we talking about this week?
We're just gonna give people some updates.
Welcome back to the Norah and Dad show. I am Dad, otherwise known as John, otherwise known as Dad, and I am here with my lovely and talented 16-year-old daughter, Norah. What's poppin', Norah?
Please don't say what's popping.
Why?
Not a fan.
Not a fan of what he's saying? What's popping?
Yeah.
What's cracking?
Say like what's crack-lacking. That's more dad-like.
What's crack-a-lackin'?
Yeah.
What's the faux shizzle?
Don't say that. Please.
How are you, Norah?
Pretty good.
Excellent.
It's not like 0 degrees out, which is cool.
Yeah, it was fairly warm today, which is nice.
It's really
Your
nice
mom and
out.
I got to take the dogs on a nice long walk, which was lovely for everybody because they might behave themselves tomorrow now. So
They got 2 walks in a row. They're gonna be so good
yeah,
tomorrow.
I know that's what we do. We walk the dogs. That's how we get our exercise. It's good for you.
Yes,
You should
sir.
try it sometime. It's fun.
I don't like doing it in winter. I'll happily take the dogs on a walk in the spring, summer, and fall, but I can't do the cold.
But it wasn't winter today. It was like almost 50 degrees outside. That is almost spring-like weather.
But it's still coat weather.
It's still coat weather.
Yeah,
This time tomorrow, I'll be in Florida weather, which I am
it's mean.
somewhat excited about and somewhat not.
I'm very anti-coat, so,
Well, I won't be wearing a coat in Florida.
well, I wish I didn't have to wear a coat in Ohio.
Well, you do as long as you live in my house and it's below freezing. You gotta
They're
wear a
just
coat.
inconvenient.
What about a coat is inconvenient?
It's just something to schlep around during the school day.
Put it in your locker.
What's the point of having it then?
Because you put it in your locker and then
But I
when
have
you
to
need it, you
walk
go to your
outside
locker
for my
and get it,
classes.
and then you put it on the back of your chair, and then when you're done with it, you go put it back into your locker.
My coat is so long though that it just drags on the floor if I put it on a chair.
Okay.
I just
Are
don't
the
like coats.
Are the floors like super dirty? No. So what's the big deal?
They're not clean, and I have a white
Sure they
coat.
are.
I don't want to ruin it.
Well, you're not going to ruin it.
I don't want to get dirty.
Wear a coat.
No.
This is your father speaking. Wear a coat. It's wintertime in Cleveland. It's cold.
Maybe it should just stop being cold.
It will. So here's the way. So every
I know how weather works. I'm learning about it.
365 days a year, the Earth navigates around the sun. And as the Earth rotates as well, we get the seasons. And so it is now February. And in about 2 months, it'll be warm again. Then you get like
It's
6
too
months of warm
far
weather. And then it'll
away.
be cold again. That's how it works.
It's evil.
Weather science.
Ecology.
Ecology. Yeah, see? It all comes together and explains why in February in Cleveland you should wear a coat. So
Ugh.
so we thought this week, since we had promised on our last episode that we would solve some cliffhangers for everybody.
Bum, bum, bum.
We would give everybody the updates on said cliffhanger. So we left you with 2 cliffhangers 2 weeks ago. And I'm gonna recap in the order in which we are going to resolve said cliffhanger. So cliffhanger number 1 was the first round district competition of the Ohio High School mock trial, where Lake Ridge Academy fielded 2 teams, the blue team or team 1 and the yellow team in team 2. And you're on the
You know.
Which team? Well, I know, but the listeners don't.
I'm on the yellow team.
Cliffhanger number 1 was how Lake Ridge fared in the first round of the mock trial competition. And then cliffhanger number 2 is Freckles the Toad, the toad that Mom found in the backyard and that you brought inside and adopted and made a little
Is he
habitat
alive?
slash
Is he
home
dead?
for. Yeah, and we really couldn't tell when we were recording last week or 2 weeks ago. Freckles was newly in our house, and we couldn't really tell whether Freckles was alive or was just sleeping and or hibernating. You did some crack internet research during the show, and we thought that Freckles, even though Freckles wasn't moving,
Yeah, you can tell
we
the gender by their bellies.
Okay,
And
Freckles. Okay,
Yeah, dark belly.
All right.
So
all right, we
male.
will gender Freckles. Freckles the male toad. That he wasn't moving, but he might have been sleeping and or hibernating. So we will update everyone on the fate of Freckles as well. But let's start with mock trial because our team had a really, 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 really good day.
We did awesome, both teams.
We kicked so much butt, it was almost embarrassing.
It was awesome. I love mock trial. I love mock trial. It's the best ever.
Do you want to give like the 30-second recap of what the case is about?
Okay, there's this delinquent named Stevie Kahn, and he supposedly put popping candy inside of eggs at the school's alumni breakfast fundraiser, and then was asked questions by the dean of students and the school resource officer, but they were never read their Miranda rights, and it's a suppression hearing trying to determine whether or not the statements Stevie made, both with the SRO and with the dean, if those are liable in court since Stevie wasn't Mirandized. My name's Blair, and I'm a junior at the high school that Stevie and I go to, and I'm the student body president.
And Stevie's academic rival and the source of the information that led the dean of students and the SRO to question Stevie Kahn.
I'm just doing my job.
Just there you
as
go.
Student body president.
There you go.
Keeping the school safe.
So we had 4 trials between the two teams. So we field 2 teams, a blue team and a yellow team. Each team has a prosecution side and a defense side. So 4 trials, 2 teams. And out of the 4 trials, there was 11 judges that we saw across the 4 trials. And out of those 11 judges' scorecards, our team won 10 out of the 11 scorecards.
My trial was the one where we didn't win one.
Yeah, we split your trial. And
better to split than to lose.
You got it. And there's awards that are given out for best attorney and best witness in each trial. So 4 trials, so 8 possible awards, 4 best lawyers and 4 best witnesses. And out of the 8 possible awards available, Lake Ridge won 7. So all in all,
also my team that did not win the best witness award.
I thought you got robbed.
I did too, but
I thought you got robbed. I'm not going to publicly speak ill of any other team. I thought you got robbed, but I'm also incredibly biased in my assessment of things. But yeah, it was a really, really good day for mock trial. There are kids on your mock trial team that are playing the roles of lawyers that are better than a lot of lawyers I've seen in actual court hearings. It's really impressive to see.
They know their stuff.
I'm really excited to see how we do in the district round coming up February
regionals. We just did
7th, or regionals
districts.
rather, February 17th is the next round, the regionals. And if we advance there, then we go on to states in Columbus in the middle of March, and then hopefully bring a state championship back to Lake Ridge Academy.
I think at least one of our teams will advance, if not both.
I think both our teams have an excellent chance in advancing. I mean,
I do too, but
I've
I think
seen-
if we don't advance, I think still one team would advance.
I think it's almost a lock that one team advances. I think
Mhm.
it would, if I was betting on, if the bet was no teams, one team, or 2 teams advancing on to states, I would bet two teams. And again,
No, I
that's
would
not
bet
because
one
I'm
team.
biased. I've just been watching you guys do this for a long time, and you all are really, really good at what you do. And I got to see some of the other teams, including some of the teams that you competed against that advanced on to the next round as well. And I just think objectively, I think you guys are better. So my money is on both the Lake Ridge teams going to states, but
That's the plan.
not in our control. We try our case and we do the best we can.
Oh, I think
And
it's
those
so
chips
fun.
fall, and those chips fall where they fall. What's that?
It's so fun.
It is.
I
it
wish
is
being
a
a
lot of fun.
witness was like a real job.
If you could be a professional witness,
I mean, I could just be an expert witness, but that takes a
You
lot more
could.
effort.
you could be an expert. That is one way to be a professional witness. The other way is just to get sued a lot or sue people a lot, but that's no fun.
Yeah, it's also expensive. It's an expensive hobby.
It is yes. Being a professional litigant is a very expensive hobby. Yeah. So you could also go to law school and be a lawyer.
No, but I want to be a witness. That's the fun part.
Okay, the fun part's being the witness. So by the time this podcast comes out on Tuesday, I think we'll have our assignments for regionals by then. Or yeah,
Are you going to zoom in? Because we'll be in Florida. Are you going to zoom into our practice?
Oh, I don't know. It's a really good question. I'll have to talk to Mr. Patala about how we do that. That is a possibility. It depends on where I am. I'm giving a presentation Tuesday afternoon, so it depends on where I am in my presentation.
You probably
If
won't
I'm
be able to be the
presenting at the
judge,
same
though.
time as what's that?
So you probably won't be able to be the judge, though.
I will not be able to be the judge for our scrimmage on Tuesday. I might be able to pop in and say hello from Fort Lauderdale, but it depends if you practice is the same time as I'm giving my presentation at this conference I'm going to. So, moving on, do you want to give everyone the update on Freckles?
Can I have a drum roll? Freckles is very dead.
He's so dead. Wow.
When we went to check on him after the podcast, his body had already gone into rigor mortis. He was as hard as a rock and very cold and very dead.
We came out of recording 2 weeks ago, right about this time on a Sunday night, and we were so excited that we had just talked about Freckles and we had this great cliffhanger and how cool it was going to be to have the story of, because I was convinced after all your research that Freckles was just sleeping.
Me too.
And it was not in fact dead. And yet, wow, he was really dead.
His skin was fading in color. His eyes were wide open.
He could not have been more dead than he was.
But you know what? He
was the most dead toad ever.
He had a happy 24 hours in our house. And next winter, we can save another toad if the opportunity comes to us, because I have all the materials.
He had a happy 24 hours? Was it a happy 24 hours or a hoppy 24 hours?
He wasn't doing very much hopping. I don't think he moved once from when we brought him in and then when he passed.
Yeah, Freckles was not long for this planet. And I mean, you did a nice thing. You rescued a toad from the harsh Cleveland winter and the varmints that are out in the wilderness of our backyard, I guess, and tried to save him. But he really, he was so dead.
He would have died sooner if he stayed outside.
Possibly. We'll never know. But either way, I mean, his fate wasn't going to change.
No.
He got a little what?
He got maybe like a little bit of extra time.
Did he eat any of the worms that you bought him?
When I rinsed out the container, I did not see any worms. So either they did a really, really good job hiding in the soil, or he ate them.
Oh, all right. So maybe he had a last meal.
Oh, that's so sad.
It's not what I would have picked for my last meal. What would your last meal be if you knew you were going? This is such a morbid question, but if you knew you were going to die like tomorrow, please don't die tomorrow, because that's going to make this podcast really awful.
Okay.
And other things are really awful too. But what would your last meal be if you got to pick your last supper?
Lobster mac and cheese.
Okay.
A Shirley Temple.
Okay.
Raspberries.
Okay.
And Mitchell's ice cream.
Okay.
I don't know what flavor. That would depend on my mood.
Hmm.
I'd probably
I
be in
would
a very good
go.
mood if I knew I was dying, but
I would go barbecued ribs
okay.
with a really nice bottle of red wine, and yeah, and tiramisu for dessert.
What's your
I
favorite
think
dessert?
it's my favorite dessert. Probably tiramisu.
Really?
Love a piece of tea. Yep.
I like ice cream.
Yeah, ice cream is good.
I love
Tiramisu
ice
ice cream,
cream.
which I just had, also really good.
Too coffee-y.
Too coffee-y.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I like the coffee-y. When I was a little child, my grandmother used to feed me coffee. I would sit at her feet on Sunday dinner. We go to Grandma and Grandpa's house for Sunday dinner, and I would sit at her feet at the dining room table, and she would spoon feed me coffee out of her coffee cup after dinner.
How old were you?
Probably like 4.
I feel like babies aren't supposed to have caffeine.
That's what they always said, that the caffeine would stunt my growth. And I'm 5'7", so maybe it did. Who knows?
Well, I guess we'll never know.
We'll never know. So I don't have a time machine to go back and not drink the coffee from my grandma.
Was it like
The world
non-sweetened,
will never
no
know.
creamer coffee?
No, I think it was black. I think there was sugar in it.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe there was sugar in it. It was good. I still like coffee, so there you go.
Yeah, now you like it with no sugar.
Yeah, black. Only black. So you think you'll try and rescue another toad next year?
I mean, I won't go hunt one out because they're better in their natural environment, but if we stumble across one that's struggling, yes.
Okay.
I don't want to purposely take one out of its environment if it can live in it.
Okay. Well, Freckles, we hardly knew you. There was no toad resurrection in our house. The toad religion will have to wait for another time. There will be no toad worship going on, at least not in our house anytime soon.
You know, we didn't
Sorry.
wait 3 days.
Did he jump out of the garbage can when you rolled it out for garbage?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm just saying we didn't wait for 3 days.
We did not wait. So what you're saying is we should have put Freckles in a cave and then put a little rock in front of it and then move the rock 3 days
He
to
had
see if
a little
Freckles was still
cave.
there.
I bought him a little cave. We just need a little rock.
So we just should have put Freckles in the cave and then put a rock in front of it.
Yes.
And then if we came back in 3 days and Freckles was no longer there, then Toad Jesus.
Yes.
Okay.
I really hope when I go to college, no one religious listens to this podcast.
Well, I really hope when you go to heaven, you meet Freckles and he can say thank you for trying to do a nice thing for him.
Oh, that'd be nice. Never forget. Fly high.
And maybe cross some of those Catholic schools or Christian schools off your list.
Yeah.
People are going to listen to our podcast.
No John Carroll for me.
No John Carroll, no Ohio Wesleyan. What else?
Oh, are they religious?
Yeah, it's a Christian school.
Mr. R didn't tell me that.
I believe they're Christian. You got to look it up, but I believe they're Christian, of some miscellaneous Christian denomination.
If this episode disappears between fall and spring of 2023, 2024, you guys will know why.
So listen now, download it for posterity.
Yep.
All right. Anything else you want to add?
Fly high, Freckles.
Bye, Freckles.
2023 to 2023.
We hardly knew you. It'll be a 2023 to 2023.
I guess we don't know how old he was. Maybe he was just a really old toad.
Can you count the rings on his legs? Is that how you tell how old a toad is?
I don't know.
Ow. All right. Well, Freckles of some miscellaneous age, and we think a dude, but maybe not. We hardly knew you. Sorry. All right. Norah Marie,
Yes.
Where can people find you if they would like more information on you on the old interwebs?
Norah Marie Music. You can find me there.
And you have some
I have
gigs,
so many shows
some
coming
gigs
up.
coming up. A lot booked through the
For
summer,
summer.
but March 3rd at Front Street Social in Berea. March 30 at the Old Wine Cellar in Olmsted Falls.
You know these dates better than I do. I could not
I
name
think-
these off the top of my head.
I think that's my memory is like an elephant. I think that's it for the immediate future, and then But I know there's more. If you go to Norah Marie Music and click on the gigs tab, it gives you all the dates and locations for everything that's booked so far through. I think you have dates booked through like July, I think, and more to come. So
Yes, many more to
all
come.
right, more to come. You can find me at John Hyman, find her at Norah Marie Music, and we will be back in 2 weeks with another episode of the Norah and Dad Show. Everyone have an
And
awesome
mock trial update, right? Or is
and
that
more
a
mock
week
trial
before?
updates to come as we move on to the next rounds.
Oh yeah, no, that'll be
All
perfect timing.
It will be. All right.
Awesome.
Everyone have a good fortnight, and we'll see you in a couple weeks. Love you, Norah.
Love you too.